people live the hardest life. Sun always shine, even after the darkest night. So better days are on the way. Yeah, I know. Sorry, you hear me start them. You know why. And I got something in there called rock sugar. Have you ever heard of it? They call it rock sugar. It look like rock salt, but it's actually sugar. Every sugar that we take up, they use it to drug me and put me to sleep for God knows what reason. So my milk, my sugar, my coffee, all drugged. The cigarettes, all drugged. Tell them are the strongest soldier, get the hardest fight. And the realest people live the hardest life. Sun always shine even after the darkest nights. So better days are on the way. So Most High God, block anybody trying to interfere with this reading. Do step in and deliver your messages to we, your lovely children. Thank you. Shout out to everybody who having their lime bush tea or your soursop bush tea or your sugar apple leaf tea or your, can you make tea from papa leaves? I've never tried it, but shout out to you. Your breadfruit leaves tea and your root tea, whatever kind of root tea that y'all be having. Shout outs to those of you who are having some tea with some real apples and some real mint leaves and some real pineapple in it. Some mango. Mango skin. Yes, shout out to you. God is good. right, let us see. People used to think that if you can't afford to buy coffee, and ooh, shout out to those of you who are having some natural cocoa tea. You know when you get the cocoa off the tree and you pull out the seeds, you cut up the cocoa, you pull out the seeds, you suck off that lovely fruit, and you put them to dry. And then when they're dry, you roast those seeds and you peel off the shell from those cocoa seeds. And you get your grinder and you grind up your cocoa seeds. And then you get your hot water boiling and you put in your cocoa powder. Lord have mercy. And when it done, you see the oil and the cocoa separate. Bomb, Lord. And then they wonder why we look so good. And nature do it, man. Huh? What's up with this? Yeah. So we got 400 years and secret society at the bottom of the deck. I don't know what that's about. It's not registering for me. So yesterday, my lovelies, the reading was about St. Lucia and Kazakhstan and Geneva and the Nation of Islam and the television, aka the television, and the slippery justice system of this here society. And Marcus wanted to make it be known they're all mine and y'all need to clean this shit up. So there's some kind of madness starting in St. Lucia today, because the card that came out said tomorrow, which would be today. Or if it's not exactly today, it's not too far from today. Because God only asked me to make a today, tomorrow, this year, and next year card in that brown deck. So if whatever God said is happening tomorrow isn't happening today, which is tomorrow from yesterday, it is not far from now. It's certainly going to be within the year, because God wasn't very specific, because God could have asked me to make a this month or a next month kind of card, but God didn't. God kept it real vague, and you know how Jah love to come like a thief in the night. So God said tomorrow, and if you don't see it tomorrow, stay there and laugh. I think that it was a jokey reading. Don't take it serious and see if it don't sneak up on you and catch you off guard. You should have been prepared. Okay? So if tomorrow isn't today, it's not too far from now. Do not drop your guard. Some shit is going down when it comes to St. Lucia and the water. I wasn't sure which water, if it's a waterfall, if it's the ocean, if it's a sewage problem, but whatever it is, Kazakhstan know about it. So I'm guessing it's probably an ocean issue. Something probably being shipped out of St. Lucia. Now, what I didn't do is check St. Lucia's proximity to Kazakhstan. Should have done that. So excuse me for one moment while St. Lucia. I should get a world map, shouldn't I? Search here. I'm not used to using these things. Okay, wait. Okay, from Kazakhstan. So Kazakhstan is here. Ah, okay. So Dominica is here because Dominica came up yesterday as well. Montserrat, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Trinidad and Tobago, the Bahamas, Puerto Rico. Why am I not seeing St. Lucia? Interesting. So I can't find St. Lucia. I don't know where to look. I found the Caribbean islands over here, but I don't see St. Lucia on the map. No, this is just not clear enough. I see Jamaica, St. Vincent, but I don't see St. Lucia. And I don't know the proximity of St. Lucia from the other Caribbean countries. Geography has never been an interest of mine. So I'm not well versed in geography, but I know somebody out there. Some of you are. But let me show you where Kazakhstan is and where the Caribbean is. So here, over here, we got all the Caribbean islands in a cluster right there. We got Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is right there. And then we got Russia. They say Russia was right on the I think it was the eastern side of Kazakhstan. So as you can see, they're kind of connected. But the Caribbean islands. Anyway, that's strange. I don't see St. Lucia. Should I just take a quick look at the Caribbean map? Okay. So St. Lucia came up here close to where Dominica was. So you got Dominica, Martinique, then St. Lucia. But on that map, St. Lucia was suspiciously omitted. Ain't that crazy? Because on this map, we got Dominica, and I think this one is St. Lucia. I think this one is Martinique. Yeah. I hope you can see that. But on the other map, they didn't even bring it up. And it's right there. So if I see Dominica, I'm supposed to see St. Lucia. What kind of pathos behavior is that? Okay. Because I knew St. Lucia is in the Caribbean. I mean, I'm no geography genius, but freaking hell. So, and the thing is, yeah, you see, old things should be cherished. With the world going the way it's going today, old things should be cherished because the more modern the world gets is the more we are lied to and tricked. Okay? Why the hell would St. Lucia not be on the map? And it's like a world map too. I should have checked to see the source that I was looking at it from. But it's all right. I'm gonna let you go this time. So anyway, just for our edification, let's move on. Next message in this series: Operation Destroy the One World Government Agenda. I saw a report about Afroman winning a court case that he had against, I feel, the Ohio police, where they got an anonymous tip and they broke into his house. He got everything on video and they were wrong for coming into his house. They didn't find anything, and they took his money and whatnot, and they sent him back like $400 short, and he decided to take them to court. And then the police decided to take his Afroman to court as well, because Afroman made a whole bunch of songs, at least 2 songs I heard of, about them and the experience. One of them called Lemon Pound Cake, and the next one called Are You Gonna Help Me Fix Back My Door? And the policeman said that we were harassed because basically the people that heard about what happened, obviously you know how humans are, so they're gonna start tormenting these policemen, and they thought that they had a case talking about they're gonna take Afroman to court for basically putting their lives in danger. But hello, you broke into the man's house based on whatever information you got coming from whoever the fuck it came from. I'm sorry, not really. But that's another thing about this slippery judicial system, okay? They get information from an anonymous caller saying that so and so is involved in XYZ, right? And they use that information, be it true or false, and use it as grounds to go and interfere with someone with no proof, mind you. Eh? What kind of system does that? Anybody can call up the police and say anything about anybody and just wreak havoc in that person's life. I think there need to be some kind of procedure when it comes to anonymous tips. First of all, there should be no anonymous tips. Scratch that. If you're going to be bold enough to report to the police that something is happening, you should be bold enough to tell them your identity. Yeah. And if the police, if you're calling the police on me and telling them that I'm doing XYZ and they use it as grounds to come interfere with my life, then I should have a right to know who complained on me. Yeah, if you're going to be bold enough to chat, be bold enough to back up your chat. Whether it's true or not, whether I'm a mafia person or not, or else shut the fuck up. Because it opens the gate for people to call CPS and all these things on people, knowing that you're a good mother, but because they're jealous of you and whatever malice they got in their heart against you, they'll just call up these different government agencies and give false reports and put you in the line of fire to be tormented by the judicial system, the unjust judicial system. Y'all need to sort that out. That can't, it's been too long that that's been going like that. There is a better way to handle complaints. First of all, you need to have proof of whatever somebody is complaining about. Okay? Because sometimes if the police, and we know the police are corrupt, if the police just want to harass you, they could just say they got an anonymous tip from XYZ. Because the police can't be trusted. They're supposed to be able to be trusted, but the truth is they can't be trusted either. And that's sad and wrong, because you're here to uphold law and order. The police force is supposed to be full of people with good moral values. Who want to help people to maintain good moral values so that they can maintain order in society. If you got police who are corrupt, then they're not going to care about keeping order, and therefore there will be no justice. And disputes will not be settled because they got other motives. Human beings are too corrupt. Y'all need to chill out. About we got an anonymous tip. Anyway, Afroman won. The report goes Afroman won his case against the Ohio police. And that's virtually unheard of. You don't go up against a police force or the system and win. So what exactly are we looking at in that case? Would be interesting to find out. But that's not what we're working on today. I just wanted to share that story because if it's true, then you can clearly see there's some kind of change going on with the system, the judicial system. The judicial system actually doing right by the people against the system itself for once. That's brilliant. That's a step forward in the right direction. That's why I wanted to mention it. God want to mention something? So we got learned life lessons. So it looks like it's official then. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. New identity. So that means shit is changing. That's what that's about. Well, thank you for the fast track information. I didn't have to do a whole reading on it to find out what's really going on. So it's official. It's a real report. It actually happened. The system actually executed justice against the system itself. Very nice. Let's give them a hand, y'all. Let's give them a hand. Very well, very well. So they learned some life lessons. And so they were like, we're not going to even try and cheat because Yeah. The judge and them are probably saying, I'm not in the mood to get my ass kicked. I wonder how they ended up learning these lessons and actually gave Afro Man justice. They didn't even try the bullshit that they usually do. Woo! Thank you for that, Most High. So we got reptilian, and we got meat suit, mask, and or bodysuit. So that's basically saying they were being tough. That reptilian stature wasn't real. They thought they were hard until God stepped on the scene. God and its angels stepped on the scene. That's what God is saying. Yeah, they made everybody believe that they're reptiles. They don't give a fuck. We cold. We cold. We bold. Who gonna check us? God said that's a facade. It's a mask. They had to chill out. Very nice. Very nice. We like that. Yeah. That's why I tell them I don't even want to take them to court, because if I have to take them to court, it's not going to go the way that they are accustomed to having dealings go with the little people. I will be a miracle up in your court. I will sue your ass hard, very hard, and I will win. US government. That's what I'm telling you. This isn't how much ever years ago, and I am not a regular person. The rules that you use for most people don't apply to me for sure. I'll be a miracle up in your courtroom. You wonder what the fuck is going on here. God is in the building. What? God and his angels are in the building. You see a lawyer, but who is that lawyer for real? Or better yet, whose is that lawyer for real? Y'all don't want no beef with me. You beef with me, you beef with God. And you're not going to win. When you call me collect, give me errands fido. Me no say no hot girl, me no say no na your crow. Government sees everything at sees everything, and another bala don't take over this spot I run. Now you understand what your woman said to a man. These streets don't love you like I do. You wanna keep your woman loving you. The love we have, well, it takes so much effort to build. And you're about to blow that. Just like a plate of jersey. You about to get through back. I wish you woulda keep me cock. Keep me wet while the waves them a rock. All right, so let's see what one. So we got over 1,000. This may be years, it may be something else. We'll find out in a moment. But the subject matter is something is over 1,000. some kind of measurement. Okay. I never leave the house without me like your woman. I watched Inside the Manosphere last night. Is that what it's called? That Netflix documentary on the Manosphere. I'm not gonna say anything about it right now, okay? I'll be quiet. The chatterbox is gonna be quiet right now. Nada, nothing. Don't ask me anything. We'll talk about it another time. So let me check these cards before I continue. Okay, so the subject matter was 1000 something. Whoo, sheesh. Okay, so this is about, so we started off with St. Lucia and what's about to happen there, and Kazakhstan and Nation of Islam and Geneva and stealing humans from Africa and maybe stealing the African Americans and possibly even stealing people from St. Lucia and Dominica. I don't know, but black people are being human trafficked. Okay, they're being stolen and used for various reasons, especially our DNA makeup. Okay. Um. What else? That's where we left off, and the goddess and the god of war came in to the reading and was like, clean this shit up. Okay. So now we continue part 2. So we got the Nephilim, and that's in the reverse. So when it comes to the 3, as far as I am aware in my studies, they're the 3 states of human consciousness. And they are the Nephilim consciousness, Anunnaki consciousness, and a reptilian consciousness. So I know that they've been teaching us that the Nephilim are just giants or whatever. They're like fallen angels. I don't know how true it is about the giant part, but as far as my studies have taken me so far, it's about a state of mind, the way that we think, our moral compass. The Nephilim moral compass, that's the people who do more good than evil. The Anunnaki moral compass, that's the people who are in the middle. You never know what you're going to get with them. And the reptilian moral compass is the one where it's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about nobody or nothing. I'm a menace to society and proud. That's the that's the reptilian state of consciousness or more state of moral compass. Okay, so when I talk about these 3 different types, that's what we're talking about. It's about from a psychological perspective, because I don't know nothing about their physical image. Okay, I can only teach you what I've learned so far, right? So Nephilim in the reverse is somebody who's supposed to be good, but they're not in their good nature. Let's read on. So we got age 21 to 40 years, and that is in the reverse. So whereas they should have learned lessons and acting more like adults, they're acting like children. They're not acting their age at all. 21 to 40 years. And then we got over 400. So there's that 400 energy coming out again, but now it's in the reverse. Excuse me. And then we got description Indian. That came out too. So Nephilim energy. So people who are supposed to be good, people who are supposed to be acting mature, it's like they know better because the Nephilim energy is here. So there's a consciousness of the fact that they should be doing better. It's here, but they haven't been. They haven't been acting their age, and it's for a long time. So we got over 400, but because 400 is in the reverse, I feel like that's the time frame that they're telling us, but it's actually for longer than that. That this has been going on. This regression of maturity. This I know better, but I'm gonna do what the fuck I want anyway. Energy. Okay? It's been going on for much longer than they would like to admit. So 400. Could talk about months. 400 months. How many years is that? Y'all know I'm terrible at maths. And not proud. 400 times 12. 4,800. Yeah, because 12 fours are 48. Then you add 2 zeros. There. Okay. Yeah, I think I get nervous more than anything else when it's time to do maths. I think that's my biggest problem. Because I know I'm not good at it, I get nervous when it's time to do mental arithmetic. And I feel like the sparks in my head just zap everything everywhere. And I just malfunction. So yeah, so 4,000, so 400 times 12. 400 months. What the hell? Hang on. See? I'm sorry, guys. Hang on. Why I did that times 12? That's stupid. But 400. I'm trying to work out what the 400 is, but I'm doing a terrible job. So let's put a pause on that. Let's put a pause. But 400 is the measurement here for something. And we're about to find out what. But we got Indian as the description. So Indians. Okay, let's see the underlying history. It'll make more sense in a moment. The the subject matter was 1,000. Okay, so we got criminal, Chinese on a mission. We got accent, cashless society. Well, we know that's true. Yeah. We know that the criminal Chinese are on a mission to bring about this cashless society. And what's up with that social scoring and all that nonsense? That's just evil. That is so evil. Anyway, so we got faked death. Oh, okay. We got characteristic, reputation. So have they been trying to create this image that we got money? Have they been trying to create this image that they are canceling that idea of having a cashless society? I don't know. I don't keep up with Chinese news, so it looks like what's being said here is they're on a mission to basically create this cashless society. But then we got fake death, characteristic, reputation. So in some way, they're pretending to have changed but they haven't. So they've pretended to end something, but they haven't. So we got reputation, money, thug life. So they're about that thug life still. So whoever needs to know, whatever it is that's going on with China and their cashless society ambitions, just know that they're still on their illegal activity, okay? They have not learned their lesson. They don't care about justice, and they're still doing whatever it is that they're doing, okay? So we got thug life, then we got runaway, wanted a new life, got 8,000. Oh, see, I knew it would make sense. So 400 is coming out as the years. Okay. Well, I still don't get the Indian part, but I'm getting the Nephilim and other parts. Okay. So what we got is what you see happening in China right now is not something that was just thought of over 400 years ago. So they would probably have people believe that it's the ancestors from this time frame or around that time frame who came up with the idea, but the subject matter was 1000. So what you see happening in China is something that has been in it's been uh manifested for about 1,000 years or more. Okay, so it's a very long time that the Chinese have separated themselves from righteousness, from being an honorable people. Well, at least a branch of them anyway. The ones that are in power and their generations and their affiliations, for sure, they've separated from nature long time ago, have no respect for God nor man. Okay, they've been on a power trip for at least 1,000 years. So I don't know why this information is important, but it's important to somebody. So the time frame that they're claiming that this cashless society idea and their social scoring and all that has been in the works for, it's been in the works for much longer than that. The subject matter was 1,000. So add 600 more years on top of this 400. So, and they're pretending to be good people. They're pretending to have the people's best interest at heart. However, they're selling this cashless society social scoring idea to the public. They're selling it in a way that is palatable by those who are receiving it and those who find themselves subject to it. But it's bullshit. It's wrong. It is criminal. Because I've never liked the idea. That idea don't make no sense to me. And the way how human beings themselves are so biased, they're so selfish, self-absorbed, careless, thoughtless towards others. I wouldn't trust anybody with this kind of power. No government, no system, nowhere. You cannot give any of these governments such power over us and how we thrive in society. It will not end well. So we got ran away and wanted a new life over 8,000 years. They wanted a simpler life. So the simpler life, I'm sure, had everything to do with the way that they control others. So this is talking about the Chinese ancestors. And I don't know why the description Indian came out. It's because maybe I got only one Chinese card in here. So I guess Indian is the closest thing to the Chinese physical characteristic. But I'm gonna dig into the Indian card to see. But let's see what the underlying story is. So yeah, so those before who we see executing these plans now, they wanted a simpler life, and we got 8,000 years. So it's been a very long time in the works, but up to 1,000 years is when proper plans started to get made. Okay, but the desire has been around in the Chinese people, at least a certain branch of them, for very, 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 very long. Okay, they wanted a simpler life where it's like, how do we control everybody and everything with minimum effort? That's been the goal. Let's see. So we got over 2,000 height disguise. So they've been lying about this time frame, how long they've had all these plans and thoughts. For some reason, the Chinese found it very important to hide the blueprint, to hide how far back in their society these ideas actually ran to. Over 8,000 years. So there's a lot of information from the conception of this mentality for total control. Because remember, this is the Operation Destroy the One World Government agenda. Reading. So for some reason, the Chinese have been lying to those who have chosen to work with them about how long these plans have been in place. So therefore, 8,000 years of information, well, at least 8,000. So we got 7,600. I got that right. So if we subtract 400 from 8,000, we got 7,600. So at least 7,000 years worth of information has been hidden from those who choose to support their one world government ideology. Now, I've asked this question many times, and I'm gonna have to ask it again at this point, because with this coming up, this is a perfect time to speak about this. Now, they want a one world government. Who is going to run it? Who will be that top dog, that ultimate voice who makes the calls or calls the shots about how things are run? Because these Chinese people, they have huge egos. These American people, they have huge egos. I'm sure they haven't decided. They can't come to a decision because everybody want to be the top dog. So now China is hiding information from maybe US. So US, you need to know that there's at least 7,000 years worth of information, drawings, writings about how to create the perfect system of totalitarianism, where you are the ultimate ruler and controller of all, the supreme. They're hiding a lot of information from you. Okay, so wait, let me clear my nose. Woo! Operation Destroy the One World Government agenda. Said America to China, I thought I could trust you. Said China to America, fuck off. You fuck off. Says America to China, I'm the boss. Says China to America, no bitch, I the boss. Okay. Says China to America, I the boss. Anyway, let's dig some more, see what else we can find. So yeah, so we got Simpler Life, over 2,000 years, the height, disguise, the height of the disguise for this new lifestyle, this way of managing people. And we got air. So air talks about like words, communication, even the written word. Okay. We got will learn life lessons because they didn't count on the Caribbean people to enter the chat. And we young, but we ain't dumb. We powerful. Let's read on. So we got new life. They didn't count on this Caribbean woman to enter the chat and be spilling all the tea. And they look at me like I'm a page. 11 to 20 years old. They look at me like I'm a baby because they know that they've been holding back so much information from me. It's like, how the hell would she know? How would she know? She's not gonna know. But God said, nah, bitch, I'm telling. This is how she gonna know. And then she gonna tell everybody else. So anyway, they gonna learn life lessons because the Caribbean chick came into the chat and fucking everything up. Let's see. So we got new life. Change the nationality. Yep, fucking everything up. It's like divert. We got DNA. So basically, the foundation, they have to change. So it says change their race, but this is about the game. So it's changing the game, changing their plans, changing their approach, because it's like China and US, they can't even trust each other. Because like I said, who's going to be the boss of all bosses? Now there's the question. It's all great to say you want a one world government, but who's going to run it? Everybody want to be the leader. So now they have to change up. So it's the DNA is the original plan. And now they have to change shit up. Because it's like, oh shit. So now USA is going to go to China like, where's the information? We heard you got more information. So they got all them ancient scrolls and shit from their ancestors that they've been copying out over the years. You know, every couple of years somebody write it out because maybe the paper get too fragile and it will just kind of fade away into dust. So every couple of generations or whatever, they get somebody to write out everything that their ancestors, all the plans, all the diagrams, all the information that to come up with the perfect plan for world domination. So China is those who got it. It was the Chinese people who seem to have started this mission. And then America heard about it and was like, well, the white man heard about it and was like, shit. Yeah. And you know what the white men do best? They steal. They steal, they lie, they manipulate, they jack everybody else's stuff. That's what they do. So they were like, yeah, China, we are your arch enemy, but we are your friends. We are friends. Aren't we friends? Look, we got change their race. We got 61 to 80 years old. Look who's coming. The Europeans, the white man. We got hide and run away. And then just be silent. Don't say nothing. You see? So the white man's gonna go. The white man gonna go to the Chinese like, I heard you got more information. I heard you got at least 7,600 years worth of information, my friend China, that you haven't told us about. So I guess China showed them some of the documents from like 400 years ago, but they didn't show them all of the documents. There's plenty more documents, US, that China isn't showing you, that their ancestors drafted up and they brainstormed to come to their perfect plan for world domination. Hence why China is the first one to do this cashless society and this social scoring system and all that bullshit. Ultimate criminal behavior on a whole group of people. And China don't have a little bit of people. China have a lot of people in it, according to reports. And they got that shit to work on them. Let's check out the Indian energy. So basically, this message is talking about what China is hiding from America concerning the one world government plans, the world domination plans. China wants to be the ultimate ruler, so China has hidden a lot of information. And I mean, China's ancestors came up with the plan and all, they did all the work. So I guess China's argument is, shit, we the ones that should be head of this mission. And when it's complete, I, Xi Jinping, should be sitting at the top of the pyramid. But they missed the part where there will be no pyramid. They can't even get the first level done. Indian, where do we get some clarification for the Indian, please? What is that about? Indian, Indian, Indian. Ooh. Why? They didn't count on me. You see, when China's ancestors were making these grand plans for a worldwide world domination takeover scheme, right? They didn't factor me into their plans. They never knew that God had a secret weapon. One little unassuming girl that they thought they could destroy. They all got together and did their very best to destroy the princess. And they failed. There will be weeping and mourning and the gnashing of teeth. Hey, I swear, I'm the best woman for the job. I ain't gonna lie. Because this shit is so heavy, yeah? You need an idiot like me to just lighten the whole shit. Because really and truly, it's heavy for them. Because they don't have God's protection. They don't have God's permission. They gonna get fucked up. But we the people, we could suffer from like that projection of fear, projection of worry, because it's like, who's gonna save us? We can't do anything. Shit. God has a plan. Okay? And it starts with the dissemination of some very pertinent information. You see, this is how they sow seeds of destruction in our lives by giving us horrible information like they do with the internet today. There is a war on the psyche of the people with the information that they put on the internet today. So God is using their same tactics against them. Hence why God is giving me this information, this insider information. Like, how the fuck did she know that? God told me, moo. So the same way that they like to use information to ruin us, God is using information to ruin them. So like I said, America's gonna go to China like, yo, you've been holding back on me. And China's gonna be thinking, of course I am, shit. My people did this. It's my people's work. I should be the boss. And USA is thinking, motherfucker, do you know who you're talking to? We go around the world bossing everything and everybody. And that includes you. Bully. So now there's gonna be a little tiff going on with the holding back of information. It's gonna basically sow seeds of distrust. And it's not that I've sown a seed of distrust. Shit, they're doing it. All I'm doing is telling the story of what's happening. So now America knows what China's doing. I just saw a dagger going in my chest. Ah! I think somebody's mad. They want to stab me in my heart. Wait, is it heart? My heart is over here. They want to stab me in my chest. I guess the person don't really want to kill me. What is that? The lungs? What y'all want to stab my lungs? Oh, they didn't count on the Caribbean princess stepping into the chat. Oh, this is funny. I love it. Ooh. What did the Genghis Khan thingy say? Hang on, let me tell you. I'm soon finished. I'm gonna let y'all go. I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. See, I'm cute, and I'm a female, and I'm nice, and I'm goofy, and I'm free, and I don't get involved in too much things. I don't even watch the news. I don't, I just stay in my little space, mind my business, live my own life, focus on what I got to do for me. And therefore they think I'm a fool. They think that I'm a little bug that they can just squash. That's how they see me. And I get it. But it doesn't make your vision of me correct. Still rivers run deep. All of them saw me the same way. They took my kindness for weakness. They took my humbleness for stupidity. They took my willingness to work together in harmony for what it is not. I know I'm a princess. I know I'm a queen. But I'm not too full of my status to serve. And that confuses them. You see, I'm supposed to walk around here with my chest poked out and reminding everybody, yeah, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you. That's not my nature. I like to blend in. I like to look like just another person. Because at the end of the day, what really makes us exceptional is how we perform as just another person. I like to be in touch with the human in me, because if I can master the human in me, everything else is a breeze. The human in me is my ego, my emotions, overcoming my fears. That's the human in me. I like that side of me. I like to master that side of me. And people don't get me, because it's like, how can you have so much power but you go around life like you're a nobody? It's because everybody is truly a nobody. The measure of a man and the measure of a woman is based on their character, not their status, not their gifts. It is not what we put into us that defiles us, but what we put out into the world that defiles us. Who are you? If people were to write a genuine, unfiltered report about you and their interaction with you, what kind of things will they say about you? That is your power. That is your value. Because people can lie. You could be nice to somebody and they tell everybody that you're the most horrible person in the world, but that person, they know the truth. So whereas they can get to fool other people into thinking that you're just the worst thing that the world has ever seen, they fucking know all day, every day, that they're a liar. And they also know that you're actually one of the sweetest, most precious gifts that the earth has ever produced. You don't have to worry about people and what they say about you. Just make sure that when you're sowing seeds, you sow good seeds. Their own lying lips will be poison to their own destiny. When they think that they're going to be talking these lies to destroy you, they will suddenly realize that these lies only destroy them, because the truth always comes out. Let them talk. You stay on your mission. Know what God has called you to do. Know what kind of person you want to be and keep being that. Don't let this world change your smile. Don't let how people treat you change who you are at your core. I am a nice person. I am a happy person. I am a humble person. And that doesn't take away from my divinity either. Divinity is simply balance. That's what divinity actually is. Balance. That's what divinity is. In one word, divinity is balance. There's a time for everything. Recognize the time and act accordingly. Failure to act accordingly in due season is what's known as being out of alignment. You reap what you sow. So if you have a bully and you fail to put that bully in their place, that's your failure. You should have acted. You should have tried to defend yourself. You didn't even try because you allow yourself to be overtaken by your fears. How are you going to know what you can achieve if you don't try? Let's see what this Indian energy. Don't try. When we don't try, we lose God's favor. God wanted to add a little bit there, and there's something else. Let's see. Look at the next card that was peeping out. Loss of control. That's why I keep telling y'all. You sit there and you allow people to abuse you and you don't try to regain control, you lose God's favor. God is looking at you like, you disappointed me. God wants you to kick ass. As long as it's justified, you have permission to kick ass. There's a time to kick ass. And there's a time to kiss ass. There's a time to humble yourself and there's a time to fight. There's a time to stand your ground. When you don't do that because you're afraid, God say, yo, me lose off of you. You disappointed, God. Loss of limb. Like, didn't I give you hands and feet and mouth and nose and eyes and shoes and prayer? I gave you all these things. Why aren't you using any of the weapons that I gave you to fix this problem? You use nothing. You choose not to try. So you lost your position. Now you're their footstool. Rather than being a sovereign being, you're now somebody's doormat. You are the mud beneath their shoes. Should have taken control of the situation with some of the gifts I gave you. Try. There's no excuse not to try, except that you allowed your fears to override your faith. God help those who help themselves. God said, let me add my little 2 cents on this subject, please. Because I've said it many times. But I don't know if y'all believe me. But see, God just seconded what I said. You lose God's favor because you choose not to lose your limb. You act like you lost your limb. You ain't got no foot. You don't got no teeth to bite. You don't got no foot for kick. You don't got no hands to punch. Just because you're weak, it don't mean that that punch is going to come out weak. Because with God, seeing you helping yourself, somebody, if you have a bully, yeah, and you think that you're puny and weak, this bully could have problems. Like, let's say they got some kind of brain something. And you decide, I'm going to punch you in your face. And you aim for their nose and your fist landed right here. God helped you. And although you think you're so weak, that one little punch, even though it wasn't the greatest strength behind it, it was in the right spot for you to take down your Goliath. How you gonna know what you can accomplish if you don't try? Y'all are measuring everything based on your own limited beliefs. Y'all need to get to know God. Y'all need to include God. You better use what your God gave you. Shit. If it's all you have, it's enough. Use it. Trust. If it's all that you have, use it. Don't quit before you fucking try. That don't make no sense. China didn't expect me to come and be giving America this kind of insider information. China didn't, in none of its meetings or anything like that, did they ever conceive the thought that I would come and let out these secrets. None at all. Where there's a will, there is always a way. There's no job too small or too big for the Most High God. Emphasis on the Most High. The fuck? You got these humans running circles around you, putting you in positions that God never put you in. We are all made in the image and the likeness of God. What the fuck does that mean? They don't have anything more than you do. Life is not just physical experience. Life is a spiritual experience too. Y'all be forgetting that life is a spiritual experience. Y'all be forgetting that we are magical beings. Y'all be forgetting that we have something called a miracle working God. How the fuck God is going to work miracles when we don't ever give God a chance to? We think we could do it all by ourselves and then we fuck up. And then we sit and we complain, feeling defeated. Oh, life is so unfair. This is impossible. I could never. As a man thinketh, so is he. That's all he is. You tell yourself you can't, you can't. As a woman thinketh, so is she. If you tell yourself you can't, then you can't. I can. Shit, I serve a God who can, so therefore, Chanel can. Giving my God the chance to show up and show the fuck out. Like this. Let the enemy be confounded. Let them be confused. How the fuck is she doing that? You must be some kind of superstar. Damn right. let's get back to what this Indian energy is talking about. Okay, because we got the Nephilims. Okay, so clarifying the Indian energy. Huh. I ain't say it. I ain't say it. I didn't say it. I ain't gonna say it. Yeah, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. What? Oh wow. Yeah, see how the cards are flying? I ain't saying it. I am not saying it. Shit. I didn't say it. Yeah, look, a whole blank card. Shit, I didn't say it. I ain't say it. Let's see, because we got lots of intelligence, but it was in the reverse. Let's check. More piece like this in the upright. Yeah. So, like I said, information hidden. So, Indian is clarified by loss of intelligence. That's interesting. Oh, because they are quite intelligent people. Or are they? I don't know. Anyway. So, yeah, we got loss of intelligence and the blank card clarifying the Indian energy here. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is representing the white man. The Indian energy is representing the white man. Don't have the information. But because God needed to use the European card to tell the rest of the story down here, God just used the Indian description to describe the people that don't have the information. So the numbers, the 400 years, and that's time. Okay, so that's a measurement of time. So as we were saying, the information that the Chinese have based on this world domination plan is a lot more than they have allowed those who they call their partners in crime to know. So they're hiding things from their partners in crime because they want to be the leader. Okay. So, like I said, they got a whole bunch of information that their ancestors wrote and their ancestors put out there that they didn't tell America. But I just told America, so now America knows, and America's gonna be wanting to know, like, you holding back from me. Why you holding back from me, China? China, I heard you're holding back from me. Anyway, we got loss of beauty and loss of authority. Yeah. Because if you don't have that beautiful information, you ain't got no power. China wanna have the power, so China gonna hold back the information from you so that they can be the ones in authority. And we got loss of bowel control and loss of strength. So if you ain't know the shit, then you ain't gonna be strong enough to do the shit to become the boss of the shit. Okay? So that's all we got for this one. And this is the end of this one because God wanted me to use, I think this is the end. Is this the end? Okay, yeah. So this deck, because these three decks came out together, but this was to clarify the Indian vibe, because God knew that I wouldn't know what the fuck this was about. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this very revelatory reading, as usual. Praise the Lord. So anyway, one love to everybody, good and bad. Okay? Shit, you make your bed, you're gonna lie down in it. Until next time, my lovelies, God bless all of us. Bye bye.